Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. Sorry, apparently there was no volume there for a few seconds. So, I don't know who saw my post this morning, but today is like the Lunar New Year. So, on the news, they said it's lucky to wear red. So, I've got my red t shirt on, and I don't know who saw it, but I think it was I think probably the end of last week ish. Close to My Heart did a great blog post about altering your embellishments. I've done it on here with you guys lots of times before, but I thought we would just take the red color palette. I grabbed a whole pile of stuff and we're just going to color some things and have some fun. So now I'm going to share this over to my classroom. Just give me 1 second here. Here we go. So, like I said, I've done this before with you guys for different things, but I thought literally we're going to take some stuff, we're going to add some color and some different ways of coloring onto different things. And so I've grabbed embellishments to basically start, because you guys can all figure out, like I've done where we've done watercoloring with your ink, or we've done some watercoloring or things like that. So, and we've colored embellishments before, but I thought it might just be fun to play with all the different kinds of mediums kind of all in one spot, so you could see how they all are just a little bit different. Yes, they said it was lucky. And so I just want to qualify, when I said this morning I needed a lot of luck, I actually feel very lucky that things weren't worse in the month of January, because they could have all gone much worse. So like I said, I just thought it might be a fresh way to start things off. So I think it's because it's the Chinese New Year that they consider red lucky. So that's why I decided to do this. Okay, so I'm going to put myself up in the corner. Okay, so you could see some of the things I grabbed. Okay, so first thing, I've got my all-purpose mat because we're going to get messy today for sure. I have baby wipes, I have paper towel, and I actually have a glass of water because we're going to throw some brushes in there. Hopefully I don't drink out of the water because I have been known to do that. Stuff just went off the back side of my desk there. That's okay, I'll pick it up after. Okay, so I'm putting my all-purpose mat down. And I love the fact that my all-purpose mat is all messy and stained, and it doesn't really matter because it's not going to get on anything else, and it saves my desk. Okay, so I grabbed a few things here and we're just going to play with them. So I grabbed wood buttons. We're going to play with them. I have white dots from the Black and White Dots, all different sizes. I have clear sparkles, some more white dots. Okay, and then I grabbed some of the white flower sequins. I thought we could try and alter those. And then I pulled out a few white sequins from the loose silver sequin mix, right? So there's white sequins in there. I thought, why don't we try and alter some of those? Okay, then some of the reds I've grabbed is I have Close to My Heart, Candy Apple Red, I have a little sponge, I also have a sponge dauber, I grabbed Candied Apple Distress Oxides and my blending tool. I've got a red shimmer brush. I've got the dark red blend tri-blend marker. Oh, that's my pickup tool. Then I grabbed red garnet from the metallic markers. So that's a tri-blend marker. And then I have the Le Pen, and this one is red. I have a few just really cheap paintbrushes. And then, so I grabbed pearls in carnation red. I need to get this out of the way so it stops. And then I grabbed Stickles in Christmas red. Okay, and so like I said, some things will take the ink better than others, but like I said, I thought we would just play and see what happens. Okay, so I'm actually going to use some of these that are on sheets all by themselves. So we're going to start with some white dots. So these are just the white dots from the black and white dots. You can also alter, just don't forget, you could alter colored dots too, right? So like we just had Daisy Meadow dots, and if the color's not exactly right or you want to layer up a color, you can always do that. Okay. Like you could play with the color combinations, as I think what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm just going to move some of these around so we can do some things. Okay, so this is also would be similar to any of the like loose white acrylics. You could cut there, they would be exactly the same to color. So there's like the flowers, there's buttons, there's all of those things too. So they would take the color the same way as what we're going to do right now. So we will start, and first thing we'll do is I'm going to use my tri-blend, and I'm going to go with the darkest because that's probably the easiest for you to see. So you can completely change the color from white to red. So I'm just coloring over top, and then I'm going to make sure I get all my edges right and run it right around the outside. Okay, so you can color a dot. So let's see how well the flower sequins. So I have not done this. And there were, I'm not sure if there still are, but there were springtime flowers. So the white sequin, like if you wanted to add these like to a cricket cut for a center, you could always color them, right? Obviously, I'm just playing with red because that's the color I picked for today, but it totally colors. So I would set this aside to dry, but the flowers also take the color. So sparkles, you guys have seen me do it lots of times, but sparkles take tri-blend really, really well. And then you have a little sparkly. You could also use gold or silver and get just something slightly different. Okay, so let's try coloring a sequin now. Okay, so it totally works. Here, let me see if I can. I just don't want to put you guys too close. No, it won't let me change it for some reason right now. So then if I colored this sequin, right, I would set it aside to dry, or you could actually, oh, here's even a better idea. So if I wanted to do a whole pile of them, I could. So I'm going to do it with the ones I have left in my little jar here. I'm just going to add a few of them to a piece of glue dots, a strip of glue dots, and color on there, right? So let's go back to the beginning here. Okay, so my tweezers. So if I wanted to, obviously if you wanted to play with some sort of color theme that we don't have sequins for, I would put them on a glue dot just like that. Some of these are upside down. right? Just like that. And then you could just color it like this on here. So super fast way to make a color coordinated embellishment. So obviously holding it up in the air, I'm not going to do the best coloring. But there we go. That's pretty good. So now I have a red sequin. Okay. So, and then the wood you can color with your tri-blends too. So just don't forget that the wood is going to absorb the marker, and you can layer up the embellishments too, right? Or the mediums too, right? So you can start with markers, and then like if you wanted more sparkle on there, you could then add stickles on top, all the fun things. Okay, so there is our tri-blend button. I would just make sure I go around the edge. Okay. So did I color everything with the tri-blend? I think so. Okay. So first one down, tri-blends, what we colored with it. Okay. So let's move on to, let's do some pearl painting. Okay. So this one's going to get a little bit messy. This is why I have my water here. And hopefully I don't get too much paint on me, which you guys know will probably happen anyway. Okay, so like I said, we've got carnation red, pearl paint, and this is like a paint. So you can use it as an embellishment to like drop onto your project, or you can use it to color your embellishments. All sorts of fun things. So let's do a white dot first. So this one is going to take some time to dry. And obviously I'm not going to pick it off my sheet because there's paint all the way around. But same thing, I would make sure I'm getting all of the sides. And you can paint the white dot. Okay, so let's see how it looks on a flower. So I'm going to paint this flower and then I'm going to move it. But it totally works on the flower too. There you go. There they are. Okay, so then let's see how we do. We can totally color our clear sparkle, and then we can, let's see, color our sequin. Okay, so it does cover, but because it's white underneath, right, you might need more layers. So I don't know that that would be my ideal solution for coloring sequins. So let's paint a button though. So you can use them on your buttons or any of the wood pieces, right? Like the arrows, the buttons, the flowers, the letters. So I was talking about the alpha the other day. So this is a great way to alter the alpha to match whatever project you're working on. I love the font for the alpha. So the buttons take the paint really well. Okay, so then Stickles would also be very similar to that. So let's play with the Stickles. Now the difference is, hey Jennifer, with the Stickles, I'm not going to color the embellishment pieces. You can, we'll do something here. But this red one, for instance, I'll show you, we'll paint a button first and I'll show you what happens. Because it is not solid like the pearl paint, right? So I'm going to see it's got a clear base in the Stickles for the red one. So depending on what you're trying to do with the button, you might want to color it first or alter it first and then add the red Stickles on top, if you know what I mean. So I could take this red button and add sparkle to it with the red Stickles, right? Because this is going to leave your background plain with just sparkles on it, right? Totally fine. Just maybe not what you're looking for. But that's the Stickles on the button. So let's use the Stickles on a white dot. So same thing, because this one doesn't have any color in it, it's just making the white dot have red sparkle on it. Here, I'll show you, I'll lift it up in 1 second. Like I said, because it's not solid. So it's hard to see, but the white is actually now got red sparkles on it. Okay, so you could also, if you just wanted to add a little bit of sparkle to the white flower, you totally could. So you could see, depending on the color of Stickles you have.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Sorry, she thought I was talking to her. But it just gives a little bit of sparkle and sheen to the flowers. Okay, so that's Stickles. I'll put that right here. Oh, I'll put it beside this other button. Or other flower. So like I said, the pearls went on the flower really well. So did the tri-blend marker. Okay, so what should we move on to next? Okay, so let's do all like the marker coloring things first. So now I have one of the tri-blend metallic markers. And like I said, this was the best red I could pick out of these. So I'm going to use, I think, my brush end here. And I'll move another white dot over. I'm going to use the bigger brush end. And this is more like a burgundy red, but you'll kind of get the idea. So you can color these with your metallic markers. So I'm doing a layer over top and then running around the edges, and same thing. Oh, you could see where I missed. Right? You could use these on the acrylic flowers, letters, any of those things, right? So you could see I would just run my marker around the outer edge, and then if you feel it needs another layer, I would let it dry, because if you run another layer over top of it while it's still wet, you're just going to pick up your last set of ink, right? So let's color a sequin. So like I said, if you want to make the color darker or slightly different, let your tri-blend dry. Because if I run right back over top of it, then I'm just going to be picking back up the color that I've already just laid down. So if I want to make that darker, I'll just let it sit. Okay, so it works on the sequins, and I'm assuming it works on the flower. So there is the metallic marker on the flower. So obviously the metallic markers, there's lots of fun colors, right? So, and they're a little bit different, right? There's silver and gold, pewter, that kind of thing. So you can imagine playing with those. Okay, actually we'll do a button too, because you can use metallic markers on your buttons. So for example, I don't know if you could see this, but this one I colored with marker and then I used stickles on top, just clear stickles, but you can see the difference between these two, right? Because the red stickles is clear. Okay, so let's color a button, this one, with our metallic marker. So you can actually see. So same thing, the metallic markers, like the wood is very porous, right? So it's pulling in, hey yay, pulling in all the color. So you might have to do a second layer on some of the things depending on what kind of color you are looking to achieve. But you can see how fun it is, and you don't have to have colors for everything, right? And sometimes it's just about the little details. So like I said, this one is a little more burgundy color than it is red, but there you go. Nice coverage. Okay, so we did the wood button and the metallic marker. Okay, so I think we colored everything with the metallic marker. Okay, so shimmer brushes. You guys know I color everything with shimmer brushes. So let's see what we can color with our shimmer brush. I'm going to put this paintbrush in my glass of water though. So that's the one thing with the stickles and the pearls, because they're stickles is glue based and pearls are acrylic paint based. Make sure that whatever you're using, you're gonna wash out, because it will just dry on your paintbrush. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, guys. Ooh, not bad. So I don't think it will really stick on enamel or acrylic thing, right? So it's just sitting on top of the acrylic dot. So we're going to stay away from anything plasticky, but let's see how it looks on the wood. I wonder if it will actually color. No, it just beads off anything that's acrylic. But because the wood is porous, right, it loves the wood, and the wood loves shimmer brush. It'll absorb in if you give it enough time, and you get the color and the shimmer, right? So, and if you wanted more sparkle, you can add stickles on top of this. Right, so this is just the red shimmer brush, but you can see how well that takes the color. So I will lift it up. Trying not to touch it too much. But you can see, like, it's a really pretty color and it has just a little bit of shine on it, right? Versus this one that's just the clear stickles. But this would look really great if you added the Christmas red stickles on top. So that's the pearl paint, that's the marker, that's the stickles, and then that's the shimmer brush. Okay, so then I have Le Pen, and same thing. So it's not gonna stick, I don't think, on anything. Well, it is coloring. I don't know that this would be the way I would pick to color dots, but it does color them. Because the tip is so fine, if you had to color a lot, it might get annoying. So, but it does color the white acrylics. So, and I do think it will color this. So the clear sparkle, it does color. So there is the Le Pen in red versus the tri-blend, right? So it's just a slightly different color. Let's see. I don't know that it'll actually stick on a sequin, but let's see. And this would also be a labor-intensive way to color. It doesn't look great, so I wouldn't recommend that one. Okay, so now those are our writing things. You can also use like watercolor paint, which is another product we have. I don't think I would alter any of these things with watercolor pencil crayons, but okay. So then the other thing is the inks, right? So here I have candy apple. So let's just see what we can do with that. So I just have a sponge and I also have a dauber. So here are clear sparkles. And it just kind of like lightly colors them. It's more like a pink tone than really coloring it red. Like there's obviously far better ways to color it red. Let's move this one just a little bit. So it does color it. It's pretty light because it's white underneath, right? So, but with that being said, it should also color the white flower sequin. So I'm just stomping with my dauber. And now I have a red flower. Okay, so then we can also color buttons. This is like my little jar of assorted buttons to play with. You can see I've got all sorts of different things going on. I've got some stickles on here, some shimmer brush, just all sorts of things, because you can also then just flip it over and I can color the other side. So like this was just, I think, I don't think, okay. I think it was just clear stickles. Okay, so same thing, right? I can color my button with just regular close to my heart ink, right? So using my dauber, just like that, or you can actually pick up your wood embellishment and rub it on your stamp pad. It kind of depends on which method you prefer. And I'm just going to look at the grain of the wood. And there we go. So it's totally up to you. I just want to use a little more pressure without ending up with completely red fingers at the end. Okay. So, and I don't know if you can see the difference, but here, so, woo! So this is candy apple ink, and then this is red shimmer brush, right? So they are different. And it's different than the red pearls. Okay. So then the last thing is we have distress oxides too. And so I grabbed candied apple. So let's see here. I'm not going to do anything plastic because I just don't think it'll work very well. Oh, so see here. So this I used Stickles on top of coloring underneath, and you can see how like it reminds me of like Dorothy's glittery shoes. Okay, so here is, let's do our distress oxide. So you're going to get a different color with the distress oxides, right? But it totally works also for coloring the wood. And this same thing, you could build it up until you kind of get the color that you want. So if you were using candied apple on a layout and you wanted an embellishment that was going to match or coordinate, not like matchy match, but then you could color anything wood to add to your layout. Just need a little sip of water there. So, and same thing, you could let it dry in between and then build it up, right? So we can see here. So I'm just going to, there's a flower. So it does color it. Okay, so I think I did all the things. I need to also now wash my tweezers and my piercing tool because they are messy. Okay, so basically I just thought it might be fun to talk about like the embellishments and how to alter them, the wood pieces. So like I said, as far as the wood goes, there's tons of them, right? The alphas, the buttons, the flowers, all of those things. So if you don't have or can't find something, I'm gonna get a wet wipe so I don't end up with red all over the place. So if you don't have something that totally matches what you're trying to do, just pull something out of your stash, right? Something you already have. And you maybe have one of these multiple ways to alter it, right? You don't have to have all of them. Just pull something out of your stash to play with and try. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it, right? You've just ruined one clear sparkle. It's really not that bad. So, like I said, we went through all the things. I'll just quickly go back through the things that I used to alter them. So we did, I'm just gonna try and pull this up just a little bit. And I'm just going to just move that flower off as all my stuff is still set. I'm going to leave it here to dry for a little bit. So we did Distress Oxides. We did regular ink. We did Shimmer Brush. We did Le Pen. We did Metallic Marker. We did Tri-Blend. We did Pearls. And we did Stickles. And so I just wanted to point out here right at the end that there is a difference between Stickles and Pearls. And you'll see it right away they're separate in the idea book too, right? So like I said, Stickles is more, it's glue based, right? So it's sticky, and liquid pearls are like an acrylic paint. So just remember that when you are using them to alter things, right? So there you go, guys. That's what I got for you today. I just thought this would be fun, and I figured I would just try and pull out all of the things in one color and see what we could do with them. And so hopefully that's helpful and you guys all start coloring some embellishments. We'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.